Hey there, neighborhood group captains. John here. I wanted to take a moment just to give a little bit more clarity and a little bit more intentional communication as to some of our desires and hopes for neighborhood groups going forward. Partly a little bit because, as I talked about in the email, some of the changes we're looking to make. Some of you, including myself, may have had a harder neighborhood group experience, and so it can be a little bit difficult to get excited or think through. Okay, why are we still doing this, or what's really the purpose of neighborhood groups going forward? And so I wanted to give a little bit more clarity as we've thought about it and refined what are we really trying to accomplish with neighborhood groups, as well as what really excites us about neighborhood groups and why we really feel like this is a great thing for Hope Community Church going forward. And so if we really had to truncate it down or to give sort of a purpose for neighborhood groups, we would say that neighborhood groups are just a way to connect people to each other and connect people to what God is doing in their neighborhood or city. And so, again, to connect people to each other and to connect people to what God is doing in their neighborhood or city. Now, the first one we've talked a lot about before, which is getting people connected to each other in their neighborhood or city. It's just an opportunity for people to get to know their neighbors, people that live near them that attend Hope, and really give those opportunities for more impromptu community. Say you're going to a movie and wondering if someone wants to go with you, or if you're having a grill out in your backyard and just want to invite anyone to. It's really just another opportunity or another strategy to help people meet the smaller community amidst the large here at Hope as it continues to grow. And a key part for it as well is a little bit more strategic in as we do grow numerically, and really as we have elders have talked about, how do we ensure that as Hope grows, that people truly are cared for, that people really are shepherded and discipled, and people are journeying with them in their journey with Christ. And really, we've decided and really have held up small groups as the primary vehicle for shepherding here at Hope. And but sometimes getting into a small group might be too big of a jump for someone that's new or just getting involved. And so, what neighborhood groups really provide is that sort of that opportunity in between a Sunday service and a small group for people to kind of get a little bit more involved, people to get to know other people, develop relationships, develop trust, with the hopes that neighborhood groups would then be a launching pad for people into small groups to really kind of give them that more intentional community there. And then the second that's really exciting too is connecting people to what God is doing in their neighborhood or city. And this is just a great way that we've found of trying to really enact what we have always talked about of really wanting to be a blessing to our city. And what we have here at Hope is obviously some partner ministries that we really want to come alongside, support, link arms with, and then we have really the people of Hope taking initiative themselves to go into their areas of influence and bring the gospel to those areas. But we haven't really had a venue of which to connect those people to each other before. A very small micro example is I live in North Minneapolis, and for the past probably few years have just really struggled with what is getting involved in blessing this city and being a light here really look like, and it's been hard, to be honest. And recently, Roger Messner, for those of you that know him, recently moved into the area, and we were just conversing and talking about this very question of what does it look like to be a blessing. And I was so encouraged by that conversation, simply because I didn't feel like I was alone anymore in this regard. I had someone else who I could talk to, share ideas with, give some of my thoughts, but also very, really challenged. Someone who I really saw was going and asking these questions and was really challenged to think, oh yeah, I really should be thinking about this or thinking about that. And uh, what I just love about neighborhood groups is the opportunity for people to connect with each other, to hear about how are you getting involved in your city, how are you getting to know your neighbors, what are ways that you found that have been effective, or hey, I'm doing this, does anyone want to come along and join me? I'm doing this service project on Saturday, anyone want to come with? But just really providing a way for people to get involved and actually invested in their communities, and that gets me really excited of just thinking. And again, God does with neighborhood groups as He desires, right? I can't say that this is going to happen, but it's hard for me not just to dream and think through, wow, God, how what could you actually do with neighborhood groups? Like if these actually worked, what could we actually see happen? What kind of gospel impact could we see happen to our cities, and the ways that we bless our communities and get involved from there? And so that just really excites us.